Alright, this video will go over some of the same information I gave as my previous raw video. This is a video to correct and clarify the information I gave for the history of this site, as well as an expansion of the linguistic knowledge for some perspective, as well as going back to this shot for some much needed visual enticement. All of these videos are in my playlist for further investigation.
Welcome to the Sumela Monastery, a monastery that was built in the 4th century, and the way it was built has quite an interesting story. Two Athenian priests had the same dream, where an icon was brought to a specific spot in the mountain, and this spot ended up being here in Trabzon. They didn't know each other and they came on two different paths, and when they arrived to Trabzon, they met each other by coincidence and they decided to build the monastery on this place. After the priests found the mountain that was in their dreams, they set up camp and began looking around the caves. Inside the cave they found the icon that was done by Saint Lucas. And finally they began to build a church here, and this church is right behind me. It's a rock cave church with an outside frescoes or icons. It looks like it's under construction. This looks like the house that they built inside the cave. This is where the two priests were living. All the paintings are missing the faces because, according to Islam, we cannot depict humans. I guess this was type of their In the 13th century, during the Empire of Trebizond, that's when the complex began to expand, and they started to build the monastery and several other rooms to this place. Therefore, certain rooms were added, such as kitchen, the bell tower, and so on. Very possible. Yeah, they're cool. After the Ottoman conquest of Trabzon, the Sultan agreed to give safety to this monastery, and also he even sent gifts. And that's when the main part of the monastery was built, during the reign of the Ottomans, built by the Greeks at that time living here.
So, as a correction, this entire outer surface, outer structure, was not built by the first two Greek priests or their crew. The only thing they built was this church right here. All of this was built by the Sultan in 13th century, but these were of the 4th century. But I still contend, I still claim that somewhere here there is a shaft of light or some kind of mechanism that will measure the coming age of Aquarius and the popping of the pineal gland, because it still faces east, just like the Great Sphinx faces east. And the function of the Great Sphinx is to indicate the exact position, the exact direction, and the exact point where the age of Aquarius will begin. And that's when all of our pineal glands and will be open. And I contend that this will be the exact same, this forms the exact same function, serves the exact same function, and this light would come in here at some point, somewhere here. Again, I've never been here, but somewhere here it would come in and serve the same function, which would be interesting to see, because in the map, I have something else to show you. If you zoom out from the monastery, I have a direction. This, the best I have is the airplane path, but between the Panagea Sumela Monastery and the Sphinx is this angle here. And this angle mirrors almost exactly the east coast of North America, of the United States. And as we know from, as we learned from Levet, alchemically, the North American continent corresponds to Capricorn, the cardinal earth, cardinal mother. And the African continent corresponds to fixed earth, the constellation of Taurus. And the Australian continent corresponds to mutable earth, the Virgo. So this line here is the earth line. And this line here is the air line, where here it corresponds to fixed air, Aquarius. These two are both the undivided house of Saturn. This is fixed air. This is mutable air. This is Gemini in India. And all the way out here, this is cardinal air. This is where Libra is alchemically connected to. And because this is where the dragon imagery came from, and came down here towards China, and came down here, or towards the Far East, and came down here towards the south, where it was worshipped by the Incas, and before that the Maya, as the plumed serpent. That's where this came from, and that's where Amaru comes from. Comes from here, as we learned from Robert Zepper. So that's interesting. That's another correlation, which I found very interesting. And now I'm going to go into the linguistics. All right. Here's my page that I made. Here's Panagea Sumela, the Greek name for the church. It means the all-holy mountain. All-holy mountain. It also means the Virgin Mary of the mountain. That's Panagea Sumela. And it comes from Panagea. In Wikipedia it says, in medieval and modern Greek, is one of the titles of Mary, Mother of God, especially used in Orthodox Christianity. And Panagea is also the term for a particular type of icon. Different place, but it's the same. It's an icon, name of the icon. So this here is the mother on the mountain. The mother on the mountain. The mother on the mountain. And linguistically, the great mother of the mountain, cardinal air. And Panagea also means in Greek pana, which is on top of or topmost, plus Gaia, which is Gaia, which is earth. Or Panagea. Ea is Greek for health, the great mother of health, the great health of the mountain, the health, yeah, the health of the mountain, all health mountain. So also Pan alchemically is connected to Saturn as half man, half goat to indicate Aquarius and Capricorn. Half man is Aquarius, half goat is the Capricorn half. Saturn's undivided house, that's Pan, plus Aya, which is age or ages, cognate to age or ages. In Sanskrit, Pa means drinking or protecting. Naya is in cognate with Sanskrit Naga, the serpent, from Libra all up the spine to the pineal, where the nerve, the sciatic nerve, splits from the spine to either side of the ear, and where you hear the spirit energy, spirits. Sumela is cognate with the Greek mialosu, to mean your mind. This is the mountain. This is the all holy of your mind, the Virgin Mary of your mind, the great mother of your mind. Okay. Now, in etymology, in linguistics rather, you have etymology, which is the entry word logic, the logic of the word entered into question, also known as can be expanded to atumology, which I am referencing, but I'm not going to go into right now. All right. Now, over here, I'll leave this here. I'm not going to read it. I don't believe this applies, but it is something we have. This is what the educated use, whereas the learned go through gematria, the science and study of the numerical equivalent of the entry word's letters, which we all use, some more esoterically than others, which I do down below. Now, I also like morphology. Morphology is the logic of a word's interior construction. Construction was used by the Britannic definition of morphology. And another correlation is construction being a karaka, or the power of the graha in Sanskrit. Karaka is a Sanskrit word for character of the graha, in this case Saturn, because construction is a karaka of Saturn. The logic of the morphing, changing of the words and sounds from one derivation to another. Again, the logic of a word's interior construction. The morphology is the construction of a word, which is a character of Saturn, as all planets have their certain characters. This one belongs to Saturn, so this one belongs to Saturn. I like this definition. This is my definition, with someone I'm going to introduce in a second. Morphology, the Moorish phonetic language, the language of the phonetics of the word, how that word forms, shapes, characters, and sounds. This is the Moorish phonetic logic. Modern dictionaries ignore the sounds part, but sounds is a part of the word, because here you have the foe, you have phonology, foe. Here it's about sounds, letter sounds, but here they ignore it. That's why I include it. So let me check on time. I gotta end it here. End it here for YouTube, but on other channels